This is my learning center, and it's for kindergarten. It's called Making Sense of Our Numbers, and it follows standards counting and cardinality. Point 2, count forward from a given number with the known sequence, within the known sequence, instead of having to begin at 1. And write numbers from 0 to 20, represent a number of objects with a written numeral 0 through 20, with 0 representing a count of 0 objects. So this is all about numbers. They did the border here, 1 through 10, and then they have 11 through 20 over here, so they can use that as a reference. Our first activity is using Play-Doh. You're going to make models of the numbers 0 through 10. The kids love Play-Doh, so they'll make the numbers 0 through 10, and then they'll move the numbers around and combine them to show 11 through 20. Since all the numbers are made, they'll add them together. And that'll be their first activity. I have the charts here so that they can complete, every time there's 5 categories, so every time they do an activity, they get to put a sticker on their chart, and they can pick which one they want to do. And that's just activity number 1. Activity number 2 says using 2 decks of cards. Oh my goodness, how many cards? Using 2 decks of cards that I have in my box that, look at the number written on the card. There's 2 different cards. On one deck of cards, it's got the number written on it, like this, 1, and then you flip it over and it has a pictures of the number. Then the other deck has the number written out, as in written form, O-N-E for 1, and then it has the pictures on the back as well. So they'll pick a card from one deck, and they'll look at the pictures and the number and get a sense of how many pictures, and then they go to the other deck and they pick out the same number of pictures and flip it over and see the written word. So then they match the 2. So they'll have a bunch of matches everywhere. They'll have the number and then the written word, and that'll just give them a sense of looking at the numbers. And that's activity number 2, and they'll put a sticker down. Activity number 3, they're gonna take the dice, using the dice, and first they'll just roll 1 dice, because the numbers are 1 through 6, and then they'll take their blocks, their single blocks and their base 10 blocks, and whatever number they roll, they'll model the number on the blocks. And then after they do 1 through 6, then they'll do 2 dice, and that way they'll get the higher numbers, and then they do the same thing with the modeling. That's activity number 3. Activity number 4, they're going to use colored pom-poms, these colored pom-poms, and they're going to grab a handful, and they're going to call out either 1 color or 2 colors, and they're going to drop the pom-poms, and depending on which color they called out, they're going to count the numbers, continue to count up to 20. If you get stuck, look on the border, and like I said, they have the border numbers so they can count whatever number they count. I'm sorry, that's a little confusing. They're going to drop the handful, whatever color they call out, or colors, they're going to count all the pom-poms. And whatever number they count with, they're going to go, like if they end up, whatever they say, blue and pink. If there was 10 pom-poms, then they're going to start for 10, and then they're going to count up into 20. So that way they're counting out of sequence, not just 1 through 10. They can look at the numbers too if they get confused. So if their number was 10, then they're going to need to count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on till 20. And that's activity number 4. Then activity number 5, they're going to pick a shape, either a foam shape or there's the deck of cards. I had it in my wrong spot. Let me show you real fast because they're really cute. So here's the 1, so it has, like, for instance, the 1, and then it has the picture on the back. And then the other deck has the picture on the back, and then it has the written word. So then they'll look at the pictures and then be able to tell, and that way they'll get that sense. Okay, back to activity number 5. They're either going to pick, like I said, a foam shape or a wooden shape, and they are going to, using the numbers on the Learning Center, 1 through 20, they're going to pick a number that is special to them for some reason that they like, and they can either paint, use glue, coloring crayons, and they're going to put the number on the front side, and then they're going to flip it over, and they're either going to use stickers or color little pictures and do the same amount, whatever the number is on front. If there's the number 10 is their number, then they're going to put 10 items on the back, so they have a sense of number. And those are my activities. And then they're going to complete the chart. They can always ask the teacher, and most of this isn't done in pairs, so they can help each other. And then I also, at the end, these aren't paperwork to give out, but I have like an optional enrichment project. It says your child is encouraged to take part in an optional enrichment project. They can pick a number 1 through 20, and they can either do a photo album, collage, poster, PowerPoint, or anything else that represents that number and turn it in. So it's just a project of number sense. And then this, I have a paper for the multiple intelligences. It's all about math and numbers. It gives you different options like linguistic, count from 0 up to the assigned number and backwards from the assigned number, write numbers in order, spatial, glue the assigned amount of small objects to a piece of paper, bodily kinesthetic, they can jump rope or bounce ball, they pick a number and do that many times. Logical mathematical, they can fill 10 frames to model the assigned number. Musical, they can make up a song or cheer about the assigned number, make up a beat using the assigned number. Interpersonal, they can challenge a family member to collect the assigned amount of items before they can. Intrapersonal, they can practice writing the assigned number. And naturalist, they could collect the assigned amount of items from nature. So if they pick a number and they like 10 leaves, and they can go out and pick 10 leaves or something to do with nature. And these are just options to give the children for multiple intelligence afterwards. And that's it.